But I can just tell you, based upon my experience and seeing what other guilds and other associations have been able to do, you would probably be paying no more than half of what SCIU requires, and you would be able to have all your support staff, your lobbyists, your attorneys, and have money left over based upon about half of it. Right now, SCIU is at about I think it's 1.7% of your income. Is that correct?
It's capped out at $85, and I think support staff pays less, but I'm not quite sure.
So capped out at $85. I've got one. Sleeps with me. So, just do the math. You can, take $50 to $85 and multiply it by 300. It's about $500,000, close to $500,000 a year. Well, you don't need that. I mean, $250 would be way more than enough, and you can get everything you needed done and control it. SCIU is absolutely spectacular at organizing. I don't think there's a better group out there in terms of organizing. But when it comes down to, take a look at this thing. Let me see. I don't know if you all got it, the purple folder. They just did that in a matter of minutes. And I mean, last time I checked, I think the 2008 cycle, they spent over $110 million on political activities. And they've got a code fund, but the majority of those funds came from other entities. I don't know how they did it, but that's what I've read. So there's a great cost in terms of the organizing and the national and international structure that you don't have to deal with. But with a group your size, you still have more than adequate resources and money to lobby, engage in political activity if necessary, campaign funding if necessary. But you, as a group, control those decisions and make those decisions. And you'll be able to do this at half the cost of what SCIU would be charging.
Does that $250 include grievances?
Yes.
Okay, so, because as someone else asked me, actually the same person asked me that question, whether or not the guild would be funding any grievances filed, or if there would have to be contributions.
It's required. It's a legal principle. It's called the duty of fair representation, and the guild or any union has to fulfill that duty of fair representation.
Can I actually ask one last question?
No, go. I think this is a good time for questions.
The same person asked me this, not from me, was concerned that since you represent the prosecutors, that's a conflict of interest. Can you talk about that?
Yes, and I've taken a look at it, and I've discussed it with many people, including Hope and other attorneys in my area of work. And there are no conflicts. I mean, you often see labor attorneys representing lots of different bargaining units and unions vis-a-vis the county. However, if there is anyone who's concerned about a perception, I would be more than happy to redirect you to another attorney who will charge you just as much as I do.
Well, the main issue was, we've got one whole pie here, and you're fighting for the prosecutors to get this slice of the pie, and so it's, could be directly, against what we want. And my counter argument was, well, if the prosecutors get more, at some point in time, I truly believe that we're going to get the same, so I think that only benefits us, but that was the concern.
Yeah, I mean, and that is you know, whenever you are representing two different unions or two different bargaining units, like SEIU has several bargaining units with the county, that argument in terms of the pie, but, you know, why can't we get more of that pie from other groups, or from the taxpayer, or from the state, or from other funding, you know, so. It's a valid point, and like I've said, if the prosecutors or your group have any concerns about it, I will step out of the limelight. I have no problem with